Welcome to Academic Guru's Tutoring Tuesday, where we answer all of your high school, college, and university questions. If you would like your question to be featured on next week's Tutoring Tuesday, please submit your questions to questions@academicgurusinc.com. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay current with all of our new videos.
Here we got another problem from the conic sections. Now this problem tends to be a bit confusing if you just learn about circles and ellipses, because it involves some deep understanding about the formulas and how to play around them to get our answer, but it's not too difficult. So let's get to it. It says find the equation of an ellipse whose center is at 1 and 5, its major axis is parallel to OX, that's just a point, its length of lattice rectum is at 9/4, and the distance between foci is 2rad55. So the first basic question that we need to ask ourselves before even tackling this problem is, what is the basic equation of an ellipse when the center is at 0, 0? So here's the basic equation. It's pretty much x squared divided by a squared plus y squared divided by b squared equals 1. This is given that your center is 0, 0 at the origin. Now our center in the problem is at 1 and 5. So when we want to apply this to the formula, we're going to use -1 and -5 because the center is positive. So whenever we have a positive center, we're going to use the opposite, which would be negative. And if this was negative, we would have used the positive center. So we know that, and then we know A is the semi-major axis, B is the semi-minor axis, and we know that B is equal to A times E. E is pretty much the point of eccentricity. Now we also need to know another formula, which is our lattice rectum formula, and that says 2B squares over A is equal to 9/4. This is given in the problem if you look here. So our lattice rectum is 9/4. So we can say the formula is giving us, pretty much the answer. So 2b squared over a equals 9/4. And then from here, if we do cross multiplying, we can get, here, let me make my flashes. So we have 4 times 2b squared equals 9 times a, which is 9a, and then we can multiply 4 times 2, it's going to be 8b squared equals 9a. And there's not much that we can do with this formula right now, so we have to move on to the next step. And then I believe, yep, it gives us the distance between foci, so that's good. So we can use another formula to get the foci, and then we can get AE, and then, okay, I got it. So the next formula that we need to use is pretty much the foci formula, which says 2AE, so 2AE equals, and our foci is sitting at 2rad55, so we're going to use 2rad55. And then what we can do from here is we can simply divide both sides by 2. And then we can just cancel out the 2's. So we have AE equals rad 55. And then if we go up there, we have B equals AE. Now we just founded AE, so we can say B equals rad 55. And when we go up to our problem right here, we need to find B squared, but we have B, so in order to do that we have to square both sides. So B squared equals square root of 55 squared, which would just give us B squared equals 55. So that's our first point. Now we need to find A squared. So in order to find A squared, we need to go right here. So we have our b squared. Now we can just plug it in here. So we have 8 times our b squared was 55. So 55 squared equals 9a. Now to get a by itself, we just have to divide both sides by 9. So now the 9s would cancel out, and so a is equal to 8 times 55 squared divided by 9. And when we do that, we get 440 divided by 9, then squared. So to get a squared, of course, I just squared it here, but to get a squared, we have to square both sides. So when I square this, I get that, and then when I square a squared, so I get the final answer of 440 divided by 9 squared. So now all we have to do is just go back and plug it into the formula. So we had, let me write it in a different color. So we had x minus 1 squared over our a squared was just 440 divided by 9 squared plus x minus 5 squared divided by 55 equals 1. And that's pretty much it. We cannot simplify it anymore. There is nothing we can do. So there you go. That's the final answer.
Thank you for tuning into our Tutoring Tuesday channel. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear from you. Until next week's Tutoring Tuesday, happy studying.